A very good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to this empowering session titled The Power of a Mother's Influence, Nurturing Values, Vision, and Financial Well-Being in the Family. My name is Margaret Businje, and I am very honored to be your moderator this evening. As a financial professional, I've seen firsthand how mothers are not only the emotional anchors of their homes, but also the hidden financial architects shaping legacies through the choices they make, the values they instill, and the futures they envision for their children. So tonight, we are privileged to learn from a dynamic panel of mothers whose lived wisdom will guide us through the three dimensions of influence, which includes values, vision, and financial stewardship. At this time, I would like to invite our distinguished speakers to briefly introduce themselves.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me, Immaculée, and the rest of the speakers and all of you guys who are our audience. My name is Germaine. I'm a mother of two, married for 17 years. I have two boys, 16 and 12, and I'm also a working mom. I work in a bank. I've been working in the bank for the past 15 years. I have like extensive experience in banking, in credit unions, and I'm also a licensed financial advisor. I do life insurances and everything to do with advising in the financial area. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so very much, Germaine. That was awesome. Go ahead, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Fiona Babas. I'm so honored to be here with you, and I'm happy to see everyone around. I'm a mother of four, two boys and two girls. The youngest being turning 1 year in the next 2 days. So it's really hard work now, but that's all. That's why we're called mothers, to nurture and give love. So I'm really honored to be a part of this session. I know we're going to learn a lot from each other. We're going to gain a lot from each other. I would say professional-wise, I'm a business owner. I've tried a few businesses. At the moment, I'm doing shipping. So for any of you who wants to ship anything to Rwanda, East Africa, I'm the right plug that you would take. So you will discover more about each other as the session goes on. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Kathy Rivanga. I'm a mother of two boys. I think first I'm a mother, number one. Number two, I have a background in government relations, public policy. I am a certified data security. I am currently doing the financial literacy course. So hopefully soon I'll be a certified insurance agent, anything insurance. And of course, I have the honor of being the president of the Rwandan community in the DMV area. And it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you everyone for joining us. And I'm glad I'm just blessed to be part of the unique group called Mothers. Thank you so much for having us.
Wow. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much to our speakers for those thoughtful introductions. With this wealth of experience and insights in the room, we are set to be actually amazed. So let us now begin the panel discussion structured around the pillars that you saw in our topic, which says again, the power of a mother's influence, nurturing values, vision, and financial well-being in a family. So the way we're going to take it on, every mother is going to take on one pillar so we can be able to exhaust the whole topic the way it is planned. So I will have the honor to start with Madame Germaine, who will be tackling nurturing values. So I'll be actually asking a few questions just to lead on the discussion to Germaine. So Germaine, what are some foundational values every mother should prioritize instilling in her children, and how can mothers remain a steady voice of truth and love in today's noisy and ever-changing world? Take it on, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Immaculée. So as we all know, mothers are very important people in all the families. So they're the ones from day one who carries their baby in their babies in their womb for the 9 months till the baby is delivered. So I think that like from the conception time, the mother plays a very key role in a child's life. And once the child is born, the mother is really like the first person that the kid sees and imitate in his or her everyday life. So the mother should always like be the one. She shapes the kid's character. She shapes the kids. She gives the kid the moral foundation with the key values. Like instilling the key values in a kid. Like giving them teaching them the basics. Like we all know. Like we're all raised as to be telling the truth every day, every time as kids. Like if you don't have to lie, you can't lie. If you lie, you go to hell. That's something that our mother has been instilled has instilled in us at a very young age. So this is something that really mothers should be put like instilling in their kids as they are still young, and also teaching them their kids like the faith, like giving passing on the faith values, like making sure that their kids know God, know that there's someone else who is above everything, like teaching them to pray, to go to church like every Sunday, like most of us do it in our families. So I think like a mother is a very important person in doing passing on those values in their child, and also teach them like as you said, we are all working mothers, instilling the working values in their kids at an early age, telling them that life is not easy, showing them the beauty of like doing something in life, making sure that they go to school, they attend school, because most of some kids will just be saying, "Hey, mom, I want to miss school today," but like you have to always be behind them, motivate them, show them like give them motivate them like that they need to do something for their future, starting as they are still young, so that like taking things seriously, like not play around, and also making sure that they develop into emotionally intelligent and social responsible kids with spiritually grounded. And also something else I can say, like in this competing influence, competing in a world of competing influences, whereby our kids are hearing different voices from their peers, where like our kids are easily influenced by their peers at school. Like they need to have phones, have video games at home. A mother should always tell them, like show them good examples, and let our kids know that those are not the things that really matters most in life. Making sure that our kids know exactly what matters in life, like school, faith-based education, and also a loving heart. Yeah.
Thank you so very much, Madame Germaine. That was very, very deep. Again, as financial professionals, we know that values drive behavior, whether it's spending, whether it's saving, whether it's sacrificing, all that will help to shape your children. And in the home, mothers are often the first and most consistent voice shaping those lifelong principles. So as mothers, again, as you said, when your child comes, the only person that is ready to shape, of course, the fathers as well, the other parents, the grandparents as well, but you as a mother, you have children. It is our responsibility as mothers to be there for our children, to shape all those values, you know. So whether it's in school, as you're saying, whether it's all those good influences that they need, everything, they always say charity begins at home for a reason. So we are there to show those children that actually they have a good well whereby they'll get all those good influences other than looking up to the world, actually to get to be influenced. Let them start from home. If they leave your home, at least they'll have the ground that is going to be very strong. Like, for example, I forgot to say I have two teenagers, a 15 and a 17 and a 15. A 17 in 3 months is going to be going to college. But my prayer is that the love, the influence that he got from our family is going to follow him when he goes out of state. So yes, thank you so much. That was very, very good. Now let's turn to the power of vision and the roles of a mother in guiding a family direction. Madam Fiona Mbabazi, take it on, please.
Thank you, Immaculate, for this wonderful moment. As a mother, to you fellow mothers, there's one thing I would say, that mothers, we would call ourselves the vision bearers or the flag bearers of the whole family. It could be a single mother, it could be mother who is in their home, but wherever you are, just know that you're the vision bearer and the flag bearer. How is a mother going to be the vision bearer or the flag bearer? Just like in our normal professional backgrounds, we know the vision is always communicated. For a company to grow, for an organization to grow, there is that constant communication of the vision. You're not going to mention something once and you think you've done something. This is something that is going to be consistent. This is something, usually my husband tells me that you're going to learn, because even your parents are still telling you something. So just have to communicate the vision of your family every time. So you do a pivoting somewhere along the way. There are times when you know the family is going off the vision. First of all, having a vision, there should be some set of values you're going to follow, just like Jermaine told us. So those are the values you're going to put into the vision. So you're going to constantly communicate that vision to your family. So as motherhood, we are focusing more on our children. How are we going to make them, shift them from this to that? So when you envision your kids in the future, how do you want them to be? So when you look at your kid, what they're doing now, are you like, oh, am I happy with what I'm seeing now? So when you really envision the future, comparing it to what you're seeing now, what you see now is actually going to be what will be in the future. There's nothing much you're going to change in the future. It's just what you see now is what is going to grow 1,000 folds. So this is why you have to catch it when you're still here. So if your vision, I know, because I've said in the vision, you have to have those values. That is why you're going to be communicating the finances as well. So if you have the values, let me say the values are faith-based, to say, because most of our parents, one thing I've noticed that most of the religion, the kids will follow their mothers depending on their religion. So this is what it really means for us mothers to be on our tiptoes, to know that we are communicating something. When we talk about, there's something I learned from my mother as well, the unity and the love, because mothers give love. Basically, we are full of love. And if you want to consistently communicate the love, you need to show the love to the kids. The vision will also encompass growth and development. How are you going to grow them? It could be financially, it could be their values, it could be their faith. Those are things we have to really work on. And by the way, let me also remind you that you can't give something you don't have. let's first grow ourselves. What you have is what you give. There's a common saying that you can't pour from an empty cup. So we need also to fill our cups. And there are very many things we could put into our visions. We have health, we have resilience, we have also unity. When you talk about love, love is a big thing. Love is a big thing because even the Bible is talking about everything. Love, I have come to understand love through reading that verse in the Bible, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Love is patient, love is kind, love doesn't envy. When you master that piece very well, you're going to easily learn how to give love. And we need to be very cautious with how we give. Those kids watch, learn, and see. They will actually hold you accountable. I've had a chance because most of our American kids here, I know that there are a lot of values they give them. Most of them are self-independence and knowing their rights. The moment you go the other direction, she will literally tell you, oh, mommy, but you're not doing this and you said this, which is different from our other kids back home. What the mom says, that is it. But these kids know what they're doing. They know, they call them, I know my rights, mom. I know I have my own independence. So let's really try to do what we would want them to learn from us. And another thing I noticed, the much love the parent will give to other people, it's the same love the kids will give. Most of mothers who harbor hatred in them, it's the same thing that children will pass on to when they grow. If a mother says, I hate this person, the kid will have no choice. They also hate that person. So mothers were really the vision bearers of the family. When you know, because the family is the smallest unit of the society. So we are the country. So what we produce is what other future leaders. So everything that a mother does has to have vision, because when you don't have vision, you're not going anywhere. And when you're not going anywhere, you're not motivated to do anything. So that is why really vision has to be number one in motherhood. So I don't want to take a lot of time. I'll also say, how do we cultivate that vision? It's one thing having a vision, it's another thing cultivating it. We will have those moments where you have to build the unity. What are those activities where you have to communicate your vision to your kids? I can give an example. Like most times I focus on faith-based. I focus on giving my kids to know more of God, because I know God will lead them, will direct them. So because in this, it's busy having the 4 kids doing everything yourself. So I look and say, when will I have time to discuss with these kids? You know, when they come from school, do homework, shower, it's time to sleep. So you find that you really have limited time for you to communicate your vision. There are things you really have to create for them. I have always set apart some time where I can communicate whatever I want to them in a more of an interactive way, by the way. You let them also speak their minds out. You let them give their view. You're like, oh, what do you think about this? So you get to understand actually how do they think about it. Then you can chip in and give them what you think is the right thing to do. And also one thing I've also learned in my motherhood or from past experience, every time you're communicating your vision, every time you're communicating those values, you need to bring it up in a more of a positive way, in more of an interactive way. When say you want to teach your kids something because they've done something, say you want to discipline them, the more you bring it up in a negative way, oh, why are you doing this? This is not right. You just have to bring it in a very positive way other than criticizing them. I've seen kids nowadays, they don't want to be told they are wrong. You just have to bring it up in a good way. And so for you to be able to create your vision, you need to create some time, you need to create some fun time, take them where they want. Not always, you have to have limits because their requests are endless, but you have to have some limits as a parent, as a mother. And really, mothers play a very crucial role in everything. And another thing with this vision, the kids learn to own their own life. Because when they know this and this will happen, this and this in future will happen, so you create the vision for them, you take them through, you expound on it all the time. Like, yes, we don't have to give up. That's one thing I can tell you as mothers. Communicate it every day, talk about it every day, repeat it every day. Then it will get to, even you might even see that the kids are not getting something. But trust me, there's something being registered, something being stored in their brains. Just like even us, if we do a self-evaluation, there are things they tell you and you don't do it, but after some time, like, this person told me something, then your mind starts going back to it. I don't want to take a lot of time for everyone. I see we're Guinness and we have one more speaker to say. I'm also looking at, as a mother, how can you nurture, how can you have a balance in nurturing and motherhood? I call that being self-aware. You want to create that balance between motherhood and yourself. Yes, it's motherhood, but you're not forgetting about yourself because you need to grow as a person. In this country, it's a bit challenging because everything is all about work. You don't have time. We don't have baby sitters, so everything is all about you. What you do is you just have to create a balance in everything that you do. You have to do some self-development. I am an example of that. I came to the US in 2021. It was totally a different experience. We had nannies. So basically I would go to work, come back at 6, the kids are already showered, the kids have already had their dinner. Some of them are actually sleeping. So I would say that journey was a swift one, was a quick one. There's nothing really hectic about motherhood that time. There's nothing hectic. But now I'm actually now feeling what motherhood is. So when I talk about motherhood, I know the weight we carry. I know the weight that is over our shoulders, on our shoulders. So because you have to do everything yourself, to the point that you actually even stay at home by yourself. You have no one to send, you have no one to tell something. So the weight of motherhood, if you're not self-aware, it can be detrimental to you. Some mothers have got some issues. They've been depressed because of it, because of the kids. I mean, it's a whole load of work being a mother. So how do you balance that? When I came, it was a challenge for me. I won't hide that. Trying to juggle between, so there's also this culture shock, everything is new to you, but how did I move from there? I thought about it. I had a careful examination, a retrospection about myself. Where am I headed to? I have no help. I have these 3 kids. They were all young. 2 of them are twins. They were around 2 years. One was like 4. So it was really a lot being in a new country with no help. My husband works full-time, so really I didn't count a lot. So I had to lower my expectations of his help. I would only get his help when he's available. But when he's away most of the times, I knew I had to chip in as a mother. So that first year it went, I knew I was doing the motherhood, but towards November, I had to talk to myself. Are you going to end like this? Are you going to just do motherhood? And no. So at the end of November, I said, okay, I need to go back to school. I had to enroll for my master's. I was lucky, I was able to do my master's. I did a master's in global affairs. And yeah, so I was able to achieve that. Still, as a mother, how are you going to, you basically need to, you don't give up. Your thoughts have to be on the move as well. You have to be on the move all the time. So after I did my master's, I was like, what next? I did the master's, I graduated. So after that, I tried to open up a business that was in tourism, but it didn't really work out for me. I haven't given up on it. So after that time, I was trying to juggle between finding what to do, because still some other kids here, you know, there's that age limit where they can start school. Before you know it, I have a baby now. So it looks like I'm really still grounded at home. So I had to think more of how I can enlarge, and I had to come up with think about more about what can I do that would really grow me mentally, physically, instead of me being home and cut apart from the world. So that's how I ended up starting a shipping business that will do shipping. So it's basically, as a mother, for you to nurture that vision and motherhood, you need to be self-aware. You need to know your self-worth. The moment you know your self-worth, you will appreciate. I've had very many, I could call them connotations on the internet. People think they're terrible mothers. I think, okay, you know, there are those videos you see and you're like, how in the world can someone do this? When you really think about it, no one is a terrible mother. Of course, there are those that have mental issues, but any person who is not mentally retarded, they're not terrible mothers. They're trying their best. I'm taking a lot of time. I think I'll stop here. I'll just leave you with two quotes. Motherhood is where all love begins and ends there. So just know we have all the love. We are like the wellspring. We have the love we give, and it ends with us. The moment you don't have the love, it has ended with you. That means even the kids will have nothing. I also give you, there is no way to be a perfect mother, but a million ways to be a good one. We have all a million ways. By the way, remember the vision, because it's constantly communicated, you can always do a pivot. You can also, we normally call it a tweak. When you do a tweak in the system, you do things that if what you did yesterday was not right, because there's that constant reminder of the vision. Don't lose hope. You can always put everything in the right direction. It doesn't matter what you did yesterday. Just try to be self-aware that, oh, what I did wasn't right yesterday. Let me try to do this way. Let me try to change this. Let me try to invent this. Let me try to do things in a different way. Also, reach out to other mothers. Like, we are all gifted differently. I would be good in this thing. I would find Kathy being good in this. I would reach out to her like, you know what, I'm struggling in this area. The kids are this, I'm struggling in this. Could you help me? And still finding the balance. There's a lot of material and resources on internet nowadays. You could get you could use those books, you could use friends, mentors, and coaches. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Over to you, Immaculate. Thank you.
Wow, amazing, amazing, amazing. Wow. We are all learning a lot. Thank you, Fiona. Really, as you shared, mothers are vision bearers, you know. Yeah, often balancing today's challenges with tomorrow's hope. We have no option but to do that, you know. Everything is in our hands, and we really have to do that. So just as financial planning begins with a clear vision, so does purposeful parenting. We have to be purposeful. We have to have that vision. No matter what, the vision you have, there's nothing that can change it. As long as it's like driving a car going somewhere without a GPS. Now that we have a GPS, you have to make sure you know where you're going. Whether there is bump road, the roads are bumpy, whether, you know, it's not clear. But when you know where you're going, obviously you have to get there. Something else, I was listening to you talking. Mothers hold unique ability to inspire dreams while also giving the structure. So you can't just have a dream. I dream my kids to be these big people. But if you have no structure, really, those dreams are going to fade away. The structure has to be there, the vision has to be there, but the structure, it doesn't have to be easy. Sometimes we struggle so much to be so friendly to our kids, not knowing that you struggling to be friendly to your child, you're actually messing them up. Sometimes we have to be tough mothers, of course, with love. You know, as you said, love takes over everything. At the end of the day, they know mommy loves them, daddy loves them, but stick on your structure. If you do that, those dreams, those values are going to be achievable. That was fantastic. I won't take much time on that because I saw we do have people who wants to add something. Give us a few minutes. The last speaker will go on, and then actually you can send your questions in the chat if you want to send them now. We'll start with that, or you can actually open your mics at the end so we can answer everything together. So last but not least, we'll go to the financial well-being in the family, which I believe, of course, faith is good, love is good, but everything, again, money is very important. So we have Ms. Kathy Rivanga is going to take us through this important section with the leading questions again. Ms. Kathy, I'll ask you, why is it important for mothers to be financially aware and actively involved in financial matters for their children and families? And to add on that, what principal habits can help mothers lead example in financial responsibility? Taking on, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Immaculate and Fiona, Germaine. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight, and for everyone who joined us today. I love that you quoted a couple of things that the previous speakers said, but I think my takeaway from Fiona that my thoughts were also racing when you said your thoughts have to be on the move. I like that. I took that down. So Immaculate, to answer your question, I really think that financial literacy is an essential tool for mothers, empowering them to manage household resources to avoid financial pitfalls like debts, and set a strong example for financial stewardship. For example, when mothers understand the issues of budgeting, saving, and investing, they don't just build personal financial security. They lay a groundwork for their family's long-term prosperity. The lessons passed down from mothers, as you know, the previous speakers mentioned, can have profound lasting effect in shaping the financial futures of their children and even the grandchildren. So by mothers modeling sound financial practices, we create a stable foundation from which the entire family can really grow and adapt in order for them to thrive. So the practical steps that really mothers can model in the financial habits are often learned through everyday experiences, like, you know, Fiona just mentioned. Mothers have countless opportunities to teach their children about money simply by living it out daily, right, in our daily routines, involving our children in tasks like groceries, budgeting, and explaining the differences between the needs and the wants, and discussing savings and investing. These are just a few examples that we can instill financial wisdom in our children, right? These conversations don't necessarily have to be formal. You know, they can be as simple as sitting down at the kitchen table and talking about what the family budget for the month and why certain choices are made. For example, Immaculate, I've had these conversations with you. For example, my son and I he's been helping me with grocery shopping since he was 12, right? Over the years, I've taught him how to look for best prices, identify deals, and find the stores that offer the best value. We've practiced buying in bulk. Obviously, I'm sure many parents do this to save money, and use these opportunities to show him how to prioritize our purchases, right? Teaching him that it's not just about spending, but more about spending wisely. So through these learning importances of financial management in real time. So like things like these kitchen type conversations, they where lessons are truly, it's during those, you know, dining table, kitchen table conversation that true financial understanding really sticks with our children. They learn, like Fiona said, by observing. You know, Germaine said the same thing, by observing what the parents are modeling, right? Financial habits like budgeting, saving, really at this point, we lay a groundwork for the future successes. So, and just modeling important habits, we also teach them the value of generosity, right? I mean, that's a typical, you know, African parents, you know, about society. By, you know, we show them how, you know, being mindful of our resources not only benefit us as a family, but also the broader community as well. So, I mean, I can give some of the examples, like even most of us, we grew up watching our parents. For example, for my case, I grew up watching my mother carefully manage our family finances in ways that still resonate with me today. I think Fiona alluded to that, because when we model our behaviors, our children learn from us, right? So for me, one of the lessons, the most important lesson that she taught me was how to stretch a dollar, not just through careful budgeting, but by using smart financial strategies. I think I mentioned this one of our events in the past. My mother used to use the layaway plans to pay for things over time, right? To avoid accumulating debt. She understood the value of paying as she went, ensuring that she always had what we needed without actually falling into the trap of high interest loans. The other thing that I've also watched is her invest in bonds. Immaculate, we talk about these things in our financial literacy sessions, where, a strategy that has helped her build wealth over time. And I've actually witnessed her borrow from those bonds by using the dividends to pay off some of the debts. These are by seeing her handle money in such a disciplined way, I have learned the importance of long-term financial planning and the benefits of living within one's means rather. So building on this foundation, I've made priorities to continue my financial educations. I've taken the same financial literacy courses to deepen our understanding of budgeting, investing, and wealth building. And this journey, it has also solidified my financial foundation rather, and I've also gained tools that are critical that I could also pass on to my children. Just as my mother modeled smart financial habits, I have done the same to teach my children the values of saving, of living within their means. And obviously our hope, like every mother here, is that these lessons, the kids take on these lessons and they can build even further, stronger, greater financial future or success in their future. So when you look at the courses that we offer, especially in the group, it helps us reinforce these lessons by exploring side projects, like Fiona just said, and Germaine, she's been in the finance banking, but now is a finance expert. I think that when we diversify our incomes, right, it helps us secure our future, but also in the process, because we're modeling these behaviors, our children are watching us create these opportunities, and they also take on the same, and we're able to build a strong financial future, not only for us, but for our future generations. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Kathy. That was really practical and powerful. So I love to say, in the financial world, we often say that planning isn't just about numbers. It's about people. What could you plan for if you're not planning for people? So mothers who lead with financial wisdom create stability, open opportunity, and model responsibility. So it is actually, we are the source of life. So we can't just be the source of life without being source of responsibility. It is in our power. It is actually a God-given authority and a responsibility to make sure that everything that we do, being that source of life, being that source of responsibility, being that source of wisdom to your children and your family, it is actually upon us as mothers. So again, mothers who lead with financial wisdom, create stability, open opportunity, and model that stronger responsibility. Every budgeting decision, insurance planning, or even saving planning becomes a quiet but a lasting act of love. So when you have those beautiful children, it is your responsibility. It is our responsibility as mothers to know that my children are not just eating tonight, but how about their tomorrow? How about their future? So the mother and the father are working, or the mother is working, or the father is working. You're putting food on the table today because you're going to work. What if tomorrow you're not able to go to work? What if tomorrow you're sick, God forbid, critically ill, terminally ill, chronically ill, or even you, God forbid, you pass? What are the responsibility you have in place? What is the plan, financial plan you have in place for those beautiful children you have, or even your entire family? So that is why we say that mothers, we are source of everything. Think about that. Plan for that. Plan for your financial future. Plan for your today, your tomorrow, and the actual generation to come. It is in our responsibility. When we talk about financial planning, it is not just something we love to talk here. Usually the Thursdays we have that financial literacy and money matters, because we know really we can have the love, we can have the good heart to nurture, but if you have no food to eat, you're not going to survive. You know, the love, kids are not going to love you when they can't, when they're going to sleep hungry. So it is every mother's responsibility to know that with the love, with the caring, with everything, your finances are actually in order. So we have all to take it on. It is up to you. Think about your family today, tomorrow, and for the generations to come. So I know we have our audience. They have been so kind to be, patient. So thank you again, once again, to our panelists for the thoughtful, provoking contributions. We now open our floor to the questions and the reflections. It doesn't have to be a question. We are all moms. We have so many moms in the audience, even fathers. So we won't just need the questions, we also need reflections. Feel free to open your mic, write in the chat, and then, yeah, bring those good questions in. These beautiful moms out here, they put on a great discussion. So what part of today's discussion really resonated most with you? All of us. It could be actually even the speakers, because when every mom was speaking here, I was learning a lot. It was like, oh, that is true. Oh, maybe this. So it's always good when we learn together, when we share. Because again, when speakers get on here to speak, it's not because they know everything. We're here to learn together and share. That is how we learn better, when we share our knowledge together. Again, the mic is open to the audience. Come on in. We don't have much time left, and we want to make sure that you also participate. And thank you for being patient again. Go ahead, Emmanuel, please.
Yes, thank you, Makile. Thank you. It's such a great honor to be part of this amazing team. Speakers were amazing, and me, I'm just here to support. It's a women's panel, but things, you talked about everything you said. I was just, amazed. So I just want to say thank you for sharing, and hopefully many people will learn from you, and move forward, and keep our community improving in every single corner of the life. Thank you so much. Just wanted to say thank you, and it was amazing.
Thank you so very much. We appreciate that. Anybody else want to make sure we finish on time?
Hello.
Hello, please go ahead.
Yeah, this is Sam.
Go ahead, sir.
Well, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity as well. I am a father, I'm not a mother, but I really appreciate having given us such this opportunity for ladies, mothers, sisters, to present to us what they have in their mind. This is really amazing. And I wanted to contribute on this. As a father, I think we can do nothing if we had no mothers, because mothers are a center of anything at home. Let it be the culture, finances, anything. But today I was listening to one of the guys who was saying that, well, men go through hell because parents do not agree on one thing. A father may say that, okay, my son, I don't want you to have that kind of hair. And the son goes behind and talks to the mother, Mommy, my dad says this. And the mother, because you're so kind, you don't want to hurt the feelings of your kid, of your son. And you end up come to the husband and say, you know what, let him feel, let us give him another chance. 1 month, 2 months, a year, then the year ends. But at least what I think it would be a good idea if parents, a father and a mother, should always be on the same page and agree on one thing. If we are coming to agree on one thing, let a father and a mother sit somewhere in the room, decide on what I'm going to tell Liam. If I'm going to ask Liam that I don't want that hair, I don't want you to wear these shoes, I don't want you to do kind of stuff that are not of value, then we as parents, we should sit down before we pass that information to that young boy or that young girl. That's where we fail as parents. But I agree with you that at least we all try. Mothers try, fathers try, and we end up not fulfilling what we want because we're in the world or in the country where things are not the same where we come from. But we should always stand on our values so that we have a better future for our children. Thank you so much, Immaculée and the team.
Oh, thank you so much, Sam. That was really good. Having a common ground is key to any family. So most of the time, as you said, Lily, kids know the weak links. They know very well. You may feel like, hey, kids are always scared of the dad or the mom. They know who they can actually trick. So it is always very important to have that vision like Fiona was discussing. Have your structure, the family structure. If the mother says this or the father says this, there's no cutting corners. There's no going behind the other parent. Because if you do that, then you're breaking your structure, your family structure. And then one thing also in African community that we tend to do that I find not very good maybe sometimes, we tend to force our children. In this modern day and age, it's always good to sit with your children. They have a voice, you know. For me, I always say, since they were like 5, 6, 7 up, we sit. I would take away their stuff, but we have to sit in the living room and be like, hey, guess what, guys? These are the family rules. If you don't do this, you're losing your phone. If you don't do this, you're not doing this. So they know when something happens and I'm taking away what they're supposed to be doing, they know I made a mistake. But they took actually, when we made those actual resolutions, they took part to that. So they were included. Being inclusive, like Fiona was telling us, and everything you do, whether it's a punishment, whether it's taking away the gadget, do it in love. And again, sit and say, as a family, this is what we agreed on, but this was broken. So because this was broken, this is going to happen, you know? We don't have to fight, but, you know, the structure has to be very, very strong. Again, I saw people raising their hands. I saw Charity was raising her hand, and then I saw Gaju. Gaju, please go ahead.
Yes, good evening, everybody. What an amazing conversation and what amazing support from our brothers. Thank you for complimenting the mothers on this group. I want to piggyback on what most of you said. I believe it's Fiona who said, I don't know if it's Fiona, being your children's friend. Yes, you can be your children's friend, just to have that open door policy. Because if you become that tough mom or tough dad, the kids are going to be scared to even tell you what is happening out there. So having that wiggle room of having that friendship and be able to discuss and talk about everything, let it be money, let it be anything out there in the world, because you've lived that life. You want to shield them by way of communicating to them, by way telling them, giving them such example references of what life is all about. And that's one. Another thing was, I think, Sam just mentioned something about having to be on the same page. Let it be dad and mom. not one if you know one is saying no and the kid knows to go to mom and mom is going to come in and try to convince dad. That is where the manipulation and that comes in. And so thank you all for what you have shared financially, discipline, religion, everything. It's all done as a family, regardless of the household. Thank you. And Immaculate, thank you for always doing this. It's amazing. And I look forward for many more to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We do have many hands up. Go ahead, Mama Concealed.
Thank you, Immaculate. Thank you, all of you who shared your thoughts and very, very constructive information. We really appreciate, because like Mr. Sam just said, and many of you guys, educating a woman is educating the whole nation. That's what they say. And women, especially in our culture, in our country, I'm glad that even the president, the constitution, I'm glad that women are also working in all aspects of our government development, including policy makers, all activities, towards our nation and our Rwandan society. So we really appreciate that. Almost all subjects have been covered, and I'm glad that Immaculate, you really organized this one. So my input is mostly about the culture, because when we move in this country, our children are tempted to follow with other cultures, especially American culture, which is really different, whereby children have always thoughts. We have to be nice with them. We have to listen to them. Like you guys, you said, you have to be sweet with them. Yeah, it's by nature, actually, mamas are sweet. So, and it's so hard for us who are single moms. So when you have to play the role of dad and the role of mom, on the one side you have to be sweet because you are like that. You can't change yourself, and you can't change your human being. And on the other side, you have to be strict, like my sister said about confiscating, equipment like social media and the phones, and put them in a place whereby they will miss something so that they can respect. Yeah, that's something that I wanted to add. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Cancelda. That was good. I believe these are very crucial topics that we actually have to keep bringing more often. Sometimes we believe that we're mothers and we know what we're doing. But when we come here as a team of moms, and fathers, we actually learn a thing or two. Because I might have my own way of raising my children, and I feel like, oh, this is my way and this is the best. But until I listen to another mom, and I feel I get to actually be surprised that there are other things that can actually help. So to get back, to summarize a little bit on you, Sister Cancelda, everything, the culture, yes, there is a culture shock. There are the kids that were born here. Yeah, we came here and we had kids here. At the same time, we have the values from back home. But we have to remember these kids are also American by birth. So having those family values and a vision and a structure, that is why actually today's topic was about exactly that. The mother's influence on nurturing values, vision, and financial well-being of a family. We try to tackle the three. I know there are so many. We did not tackle everything that goes with a mother's actual responsibility. But when those family values, the vision, the structure is there, I know there are going to be tough times, but when the structure is actually strong, you're going to manage. And those kids are going to know that the family laws are not movable, not built in stone, again, with love. But we keep reminding. I try to put the family values like actually when you enter the house, not saying that they don't break them, but they go back and look, There are some things you don't do. Some people have this and this. Why can't I? Again, this is the Mutembelezi's family. Our values are different from Johnny's family. I want to go sleep over. Again, you have your room. Go do whatever you do. You sleep in your room. Because again, we live in a country that has a different culture, as you're saying, Sister Kansilda. If we really want to fit in, those family values are going to be broken. If we want to try to be a little tough, but with love, I let my kids go with their friends, but they have to come back home. You know, home is their home. That's where they sleep. Again, yeah, there are some things we can't really run away from unless we want to lose those structures and divisions. But again, we have to be flexible because we live in different generation whereby things have to be flexible, and we have to discuss again with our children. Is there anybody else who has something else to add before we actually close? Because we're getting to the close of our session. Again, these sessions are all recorded for people who just joined us today. We have a weekly training, what we call financial literacy and money matters, but we're also open to other topics that are actually important to our families and our communities. So again, we always tell our listeners, if you have something that you want us to discuss in the future, let us know, because we are here for our communities. We are here for our families. We don't have anything built in stone. We are open to learning and to discussions. If anybody else, I see somebody put something in the chat. Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and get the end. I'll ask the speakers if anybody has something else to add, given what also was added as we were discussing. Open your mic, add something, and then we'll get the end of our session. You can open your mics if you have something else to add, ladies.
Okay, thank you, Immaculée. Mine is again to emphasize on finding time as a family to talk, like everyone else has mentioned that earlier on. So I think as Rwandans who live here in America, we tend to be busy. Everyone is busy working, different shifts. Like you see parents, one coming in, one getting out, going to work the night shift, the other one work the day shift. And our kids tend to be like, they get lost. They're wondering what's going on. We don't have time to follow up with their education, to check on how they take their notes in class, like not having rituals like of sleeping at a certain time every night, or having time to pray as a family. No, I think those things that are things that as mothers we should really encourage within our family, and make sure that we have we stick to those rituals, and we should, like as Fiona mentioned, we keep that vision, we keep that flag very high, and have time for our kids, because we after all we all came to the US for the future of our kids. We did not come for ourselves. If we lose our kids, what are we going to be having in the end? Nothing. So we should really invest our time and energy in finding time to talk, like even ask our kids, how was your day? What did you learn to school today? Even 5 minutes talking to them, because our kids get lost, and most of those kids who end up in taking drugs or being with other bad influenced kids, it's because they don't have someone to talk to. In most cases, they feel like they're alone. They get challenged, and they have no one else to turn to except their peers. Prayers can change things, so let's try to have those practices. That's what I wanted to add. Thank you.
All right.
I think I can just as something that I can say to add on to what Germaine said. It's someone once said that that if you don't raise your children, America will raise them for you.
Correct.
So that's it. That's all I can say. Yeah, we have to make the time. I think the key, it's just creating, even if it's a short time, like Germaine said, even if it's just a few minutes, but for them to know at that point in time, they matter, they are priority. I think if I may use my own example, my mother's work record, my mother had a restaurant and her work, she was gone in the night and would be in school during the day. So in the morning, we're going to school. And in the evening, when we're coming from school, she's going to work. So, and I remember, but one of the things she used to do, she used to wake us up at 5 a.m. every day. And she would use that 1 hour from 5 to 6 a.m. talking to us about life and life lessons, what she's seen outside, because obviously if you have a restaurant and bar, you see, you know, there's so many things that happen out there. So she would tell us all these stories about what she's seen out there, like all her fears, literally, like we would see kids that were probably our age, right? Like that would really frighten her, worrying that we probably were not aware of, you know. So I really think that the time is very important. Create that time. And because when kids see that you're making that time for them, then they will do the same, you know, like, because we're raising future generation, future fathers, right? Future mothers. And I remember one time when my boys, I think Dylan was probably 6 or 7, the brother was probably 1. And I remember I was making my bed, I was like, oh my God, I'm raising a future husband, right? So I realized that I want them to be better husbands to someone, right? So I needed to teach them things that they needed to do so that it will be easier for their wives, and they're in America, you know what I mean? So they're raised in a totally different environment that we were raised in. So yeah, I really think that at the end of the day, the mothers, we're the natural nurturers, right? Like some say, the fathers have their influence, them, you know, but mothers are natural nurturers. Do you know that saying? Ngo umwana uri successful ni uwase yabaye ikigoryi bwa nyina. You know that's
Long one.
So I think I remember like something in those lines. So really, I think mothers, a lot is expected of us, but we do. This morning, it's funny, like that showed up when we were preparing for this. I was looking at this TikTok and there were these NBA players talking about their parents. It was just their mothers, actually. It was always about their mothers. It's always about their mothers. And they were so emotional about all these things. And amazingly, most of them are single mothers. I don't know why that is, but I think still, once we put in the time, we can raise a great nation, truly. Thank you. And thank you again, Immaculate, for always taking the time to do this and empowering our community, not only, you know, through financial literacy, but also, you know, everyday just life, you know, kitchen table conversations like this. So thank you so much.
Yeah, as my final thought is never stop dreaming. At any age, you can achieve that goal that you've always had.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much for these heartfelt reflections. Again, to me, I was a speaker as a financial professional. I often see long-term fruits of what mothers plant. You know, ethically, emotionally, economically, it's clear that a mother's influence extends far beyond childhood, becoming a guiding light well into adulthood. So let us draw from that. We've heard so much from great speakers, from the audience. Every day we learn as parents. Parenting it doesn't end. You know, from the beginning to the end, it is a continuation. And today has reminded us that the role of a mother is both strategic and sacred. You know, instilling enduring values, shaping family purposes, and stewardship resources that protect and provide for generations. So let us continue to uplift mothers in our lives and the communities and each other. Together will make actually a better tomorrow. And on behalf of the speakers and everybody, the attendees, I wish you to continue learning, never stop learning. I believe together as a community, who will make it great in this great nation. Have a great night again, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Again, we're going to share the recording for those who came a little late, and for those who want to also to listen from our previous discussions. We do have a YouTube link for all the discussions we always have. And again, we call upon you if you have something on your heart that you want us to discuss together as a family. We are family here. We are open to take it on. Have a great night, everyone, and see you again next Thursday, the same time. Have a great night.
Thank you.